This video is on how to field strip and clean the Springfield XDM. This model is an XDM Elite. If you have a different variant, that's okay. This video will still apply. To get started, you'll need a few things. CLP, a nylon brush, preferably one that's specific for gun cleaning, a cleaning rod, a bronze bore brush, a cleaning jag, cotton swabs, cleaning patches, and a bore snake is optional, but I highly recommend one. You can get these items from your local sporting goods store or gun shop, but you'll probably find it cheaper on Amazon. I'll put links to everything in the comments below. Let's get started. Always start out with an empty weapon, but of course I'm going to double check. Press the mag release button, drop the magazine, pull the slide back a few times. If you accidentally left ammo inside the chamber, it's going to eject at this point. Pull the slide to the rearmost position and push the slide stop lever upward. Rotate the disassembly lever to the 12 o'clock position. Press the slide catch down and pull the slide all the way off the frame. Remove the recoil spring by pressing it from chamber end to muzzle end. If you have the Elite model, unscrew the thread protector. If you don't, you can just pull the barrel right out. And this is as far as you need to go for a basic field strip. We're not doing a complete disassembly video. You have your slide, your barrel, your recoil spring, thread protector, frame, and magazine. You don't have to clean these parts in any particular order, but I'm going to start with the frame. Add CLP to the nylon brush and start scrubbing all surfaces, inside and out. And yes, that includes the grip area of the frame. You're going to use CLP to clean it, but you're going to wipe it totally dry. This frame will not be slippery when we're done. After you've loosened up all the dirt with a brush, add CLP to a clean cotton swab and start going through it in fine detail. Make sure you get it all, but focus on the rails and the harder to reach spaces. You'll notice when you're cleaning the rails that Q-tips will come out dirty, like that. Just keep adding CLP to a clean cotton swab and repeat the process until the cotton swabs start coming out clean. You can use a combination of cleaning patches, cotton swabs, or a microfiber rag to clean the frame. After you clean the frame, add a light coat of CLP to all metal parts and a medium coat of lube to the rails, as well as anything that you see evidence of metal on metal wear. And when I say lube, I mean CLP. CLP stands for cleaner, lubricant, and protectant. I've used all the major brands and they all work, but lately I've been using Lucas brand. The best way to get the excess CLP off of the stippling is just wrap a rag around the grips and squeeze. Now I'm just going to wipe off any remaining CLP from the outside of the frame, and I'm done with this part. Let's clean the slide. Add CLP to the nylon brush and start scrubbing. Scrub the breech face really well, but be careful not to leak CLP down into that channel that the firing pin comes out of. Also avoid leaking CLP into the striker channel. So if you're using so much CLP that it's starting to leak into places that you don't want it to be at, you're using too much. Now that I've loosened up all the dirt, I'm going to wipe off the excess CLP. Then I'm going to add CLP to a clean cotton swab and go through it in fine detail. Just like when you clean the frame, you'll notice that when you clean the rails, the cotton swabs will come out dirty. Just keep adding CLP to a fresh cotton swab and repeat the process until they start coming out clean. Once your frame is clean, add a medium coat of lube to the rails and anything that shows metal on metal wear. Just use a cotton swab to smooth it out evenly. Now I'm going to wipe off any excess CLP with this microfiber rag, and that looks pretty good, so let's move on. Add CLP to the brush and start scrubbing the outside of the barrel. Give special attention to the feed ramp. Make sure you clean that really well. And if you have a thread protector, make sure you clean that and add CLP to the inside of the threads just to make sure it doesn't get stuck. Now attach the 9mm size bore brush to the cleaning rod, add CLP, and push it through the bore from chamber end to muzzle end. You only want to go in one direction because it doesn't make any sense at all to push the dirt out and pull it right back in. Kind of like when you're sweeping the floor. You don't just grab the broom and sweep back and forth. You'll just spread dust everywhere. You generally sweep in one direction into a dustpan or out the door or whatever. This is the way you would clean a high precision rifle, so why not clean your pistol the same way? It only takes a few extra seconds. And make sure when you're pushing the brush through, you're grabbing the rod by the handle. The handle allows the rod to spin freely so the bristles will spin within the rifling. If you were to just grab it by the handle and push it straight through, the bristles will scrape right over the rifling and you might not get a good clean. So all you do is push the brush through. Once it comes through the muzzle end, remove the brush, pull the rod out, put the brush back onto the rod, and repeat the process. There's no magic number on how many times you need to push the brush through. It really depends on how much you've been shooting. So I'm just going to push the brush through a few times and move on. I'm going to attach the 9mm size cleaning jag to the cleaning rod, add a little bit of CLP to a clean patch, put it around the jag, and push it through. Just like the brush, I'm only going in one direction, from chamber end to muzzle end. You'll notice that the first few patches come out really dirty. Just keep adding CLP to a clean patch and push them through until they start to come out clean. Okay, I pushed a few patches through and they're starting to come out pretty clean. So I'm going to push one more through for good measure and then move on. Using a bore snake is optional, but I like to use one just to be thorough. Make sure you're using the correct size. On the brass weighted end, it should say 38, 9mm, or 357. Do this a couple of times, inspect the bore, and I guarantee you're going to be happy with the results. It's kind of hard to show on camera, but this bore is spotless. It looks like black glass inside. It's actually better than it came from the factory. There's not any evidence of dirt, carbon, fouling, nothing. It's 100% clean. Now that the barrel's clean, I'm going to add a light coat of CLP to the outside. Now I'm just going to smooth out the CLP, but the bore is going to remain dry. You can leave a light coat of CLP inside the bore if you plan on having it in storage for a long time. Now I'm going to clean the recoil spring, add CLP to the nylon brush, and start scrubbing inside the coils and on both ends. Wipe off the excess CLP with a microfiber rag, and you're done with this part. You don't need to disassemble the magazine every time you clean it. If you dropped it in mud, dirt, sand, or something like that, of course you're going to need to do it. But in this case, it just needs a basic clean. So add a little bit of CLP to the nylon brush and start scrubbing. Be careful not to leak CLP down into the witness holes or underneath the follower. So if you do need to disassemble the magazine, it's easy enough. I really don't think you need a video to show you how to do it. Just press that button at the bottom of the base plate with a small screwdriver or punch. Slide the magazine base off. The locking plate, spring, and follower will come out. Clean those parts as well as the inside of the magazine sleeve. Wipe everything clean and reassemble the same way you took it apart. You don't want to leave anything inside the magazine wet. If you do, it's just going to attract dirt and lint. So anyways, I'm just going to continue cleaning the outside of this magazine, wipe off all the excess CLP, and I'm done. Now it's time to reassemble. Reinsert the barrel into the slide. Put the recoil spring in just like so. When installed correctly, it looks just like this. Screw the thread protector back on. Make sure the takedown lever is up in the 12 o'clock position in case it moved while you're cleaning. Now line up the rails on the frame with the rail channels on the slide. Pull the slide back to the rearmost position. Engage the slide stop lever by pressing it upward. Now rotate the disassembly lever back to the original position. Press the slide catch lever down and let the slide go home. Let's do a function check. Work the slide, pull the trigger, you'll hear a click. Don't let the trigger go. Work the slide again. Release the trigger, you'll hear it reset. Pull the trigger again, you'll hear another click. If you do, everything's good to go. But I want to see if it locks back on an empty magazine. So insert an empty magazine. When you pull the slide, it should stay back. If it does, everything's good. I made this video for total beginners, so I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll do the best I can to help you out. And if you have a moment, go to skullcrush.com. Thanks for watching and be safe.